New this morning, one man is in jail after reports of someone breaking boards on an old shed and possibly trying to start a fire. Police and fire were called to the 100 block of 9th Street South in Fargo just after midnight after someone reported seeing a man with a crowbar damaging an outbuilding. Officers found the man and they say that he resisted.
The name he initially gave police indicated he was wanted on an outstanding warrant. And police say they also found meth paraphernalia on him. But when the suspect got to the Cass County Jail, they determined he had actually given officers a fake name. Turns out 39-year-old Joshua Sather of Moorhead was not wanted on a warrant, but he was arrested for giving false information to police. And police say the active search is over, but they're still looking for the person who robbed the Jimmy John's restaurant in West Fargo last night. Valley News Live confirmed that the robber was chased into an area just north of 32nd Avenue, south of Costco, right around 8 last night.
A K-9 unit was called in to search. There's no word on any arrest or if there was a weapon involved in that holdup. Sheriff's officials say a man and his 5-year-old daughter were shot and wounded at a Minnesota boat launch. They got the call Monday afternoon about shots fired at White Bear Lake Park. And as deputies were on their way, the man called 911 to say he and his daughter had been shot and he was driving to the hospital.
The little girl is in serious condition. Her dad has a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. There's no word yet on any arrests.
It's now 10 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's get a check of our forecast. And thankfully, Lisa, we are calmer this morning.
Yes, we can finally say that we got a good night's rest after those storms that hit us back to back nights are now moving on. And we've got some beautiful weather to start off, too. We're looking off to the northeast on our first alert sky cam in Fargo and getting to see that sun shining through the clouds. Dry roads, that's good, too, after all that rain we've had recently. Temperatures are into the 50s, 54 in Fargo and in Fergus Falls. We've got some places with more cloud cover, especially in the east and Bemidji. And then out west, lots of sunshine in Jamestown at 50 degrees right now. And we're looking at some wind today. That's going to be a factor for us in a couple of ways. One, it's coming in out of the northwest. So that means the overall flow will be cooling and it'll be tough to warm up to those June summertime temperatures we expect. And then the other thing is it will be breezy through the day. We're looking at some gusts getting into the 20s, maybe even approaching 30 miles per hour. So a breezy one here for this Wednesday, but drying out for the most part. You can see we're watching that rain move on in the east. The clouds will follow eventually for you there. And then up in Lake of the Woods might be a little tougher. We've got you closer to that main area of rain, so you may be stuck with more showers and sprinkles through the day. Heading into the afternoon, we'll see temperatures into the 60s to some low 70s for highs. A high of 68 in Fargo, 69 in Grand Forks. South and west, we're looking more at that 70-degree mark. And the farther north and east you are, the cooler it will be. One other thing to mention, I can't rule out the potential for an isolated shot of rain or even a thunder shower, especially in eastern North Dakota this afternoon and tonight. Not severe, but still something to watch out for if you have some outdoor plans for it this evening. Isolated, though, so a lot of people won't see it. As we look at our forecast for the next several days, we've got that lawn greening up. It was pretty crunchy before, so it was good to get the rain. We've had a lot of it, though, and so now we're going to need to start mowing. And we're looking at some pretty good days ahead for that today because we have that isolated shot of rain, not putting us necessarily in that all clear category, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday look good for getting outdoors and doing some yard work. And here's a look at that 7-day planner. We'll see some sunshine, temperatures warming back into the 70s. Saturday and Sunday look pretty good, but Sunday evening, Sunday night, a chance for some rain returning. But we keep the warmer weather around even as we're looking at chances for rain returning next week. Now we want to check in with Devin for the Valley Today's Traffic on the Move.
Thanks, Lisa. We're finishing up our morning drive for this hour, as you can see on I-29, as you can tell by that sign right above us there. We're going to be heading south toward Sioux Falls. Now, overall, the traffic flow this morning, it's been pretty light, but we haven't checked in on I-29 in a minute. We'll see what it looks like when we get onto the roadways. The sun's going to be blinding for just a second. Apologies on that. I haven't turned out how to turn down the brightness on that just yet. But overall, the road conditions, like I said, they've been good. The traffic flow has been at a minimum. It's a really ideal morning. It's probably the first ideal morning that we've had this week. So good news as you step out the door. The only thing we have to worry about as far as construction goes, we do have a new road closure going into place, in addition to our long-standing construction projects such as Main Avenue and the 12th Avenue overpass behind me here. On Broadway between 35th and 36th Avenues North, there's going to be a complete road closure in effect there. So that's the another block of Broadway being shut down. You can see the northbound lanes of I-29 starting to build up just a bit. We're going to keep tracking that in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
There's a shakeup in Grand Forks government. The city is getting a new mayor. Voters in yesterday's primary election picked political newcomer Brandon Bochensky to lead their city.
The real estate developer will replace longtime incumbent Michael Brown. Bochensky had 50% of the vote to Brown's 32%. On the statewide ballot in North Dakota, the high-profile race involves two lawmakers from the Valley seeking the Republican support in November in the race for treasurer. Rep. Thomas Beadle of Fargo is leading Rep. Daniel Johnston of Catherine 53 to 47%. Beadle is endorsed by Governor Doug Burgum. Johnston is endorsed by President Donald Trump.
In the Fargo City Commission race, John Strand and Arlette Preston are leading the pack, and it looks like voters are replacing some members of the Fargo School Board. For the latest results from yesterday's primary, just go to valleynewslive.com or check out the numbers on our VNL News app.
Strong wind, rain, and hail pelted the valley this week, leaving behind downed trees and damage that many people are still working to clean up. Local home inspectors in the Fargo area warn that severe weather can wreak havoc on your home. Strong winds and hail can damage your roof and siding.
You should be proactive by walking around your home to look for those loose shingles, roof turbines that have been damaged, and pools of water around your house, or really anything that looks out of place. Inspectors say checking your shingles is important because it can result in future leaks or further damage. If you do have damage to your roof, siding, or water pooling around your home, you should act fast and call a licensed professional. For the first time, long-term care facilities in the FM area are releasing the number of COVID-19 deaths they've had. Eventide says 6 people died at one of its Fargo locations, and the Moorhead facility had 15 deaths. Eventide claims the high death count was due to a lag of testing by the Minnesota Department of Health.
The numbers were released as a push by the Trump administration to make nursing homes more transparent, but we learned some of the federal data is inaccurate. Villa Maria is reporting 15 deaths, while Rosewood is at 7, according to S&P Health System. Bethany on 42nd had 2, while Bethany on University had 4. This is all happening while North Dakota is reporting another 22 positive COVID-19 tests. Nearly 2,000 tests were completed. There are 379 active cases in the state, down 93 from the day before. No new deaths have been reported for the third straight day. The death toll linked to the virus remains at 72.
In Minnesota, there are 307 new positive cases and 22 more deaths. The death toll in the state is now 1,217. The active case count is at 2,815. School's out for summer and swimming lessons are limited.
And the Valley Today's Callie Hubbard is joining us live this morning, explaining how we can have some fun in the water all while staying safe. Good morning, Callie.
Hi, good morning, Lisa and Jordan. Yeah, the water definitely sounds nice, especially here next to the big rapids here in downtown Fargo. But I'm here with Michelle with Moorhead Parks and Rec, and she's going to be telling us a little bit. I mean, you can have so much fun in the water going to the pools, but you can actually have a lot of fun at home in the sprinklers. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So this year, unfortunately, Moorhead is unable to offer in-person lessons, so we are offering virtual safety camps. We have a little swimmers camp for ages 4 to 6, and then our regular safety camp for ages 6 and up. We're going to talk about different safety topics, send a few different fun items home, and then we'll do some Zoom calls with our instructors. So if you're looking for more information on that, you can visit our website, cityofmoorhead.com, and you can register there. It's free, and then there's also more information. But you don't need a pool to have fun in the water. There's lots of things you can do right from home. Water balloons, sprinklers, slip and slides, all those things are really great options. Just as parents and guardians, just make sure you're watching your children. Water can be unsafe at 6 inches or deeper, so just making sure you're watching. But you can have a lot of fun at home in water too.
Some of those little kiddie pool things that you have in your house could be 6 inches of water, for example. And we were also talking about water shooters too. Those are always fun to include at home.
Yeah, my favorite when I was a kid is we would put the sprinkler under the trampoline and we would jump on it and use the water shooters. So yeah, lots of really fun options at home that don't involve leaving your house at all. Just making sure that you're watching your children so that everyone stays safe and has fun. Applying sunscreen is also really important too. So anytime that you're outside in the water, whether that be in a pool or under the sprinklers, making sure that you're using that sunblock to stay safe as well.
Awesome. Great tips to keep in mind when you're heading out to the water this summer.
Yeah, all some good advice there. And the river looks and sounds beautiful this morning, but we do want to remind people they do not advise that you swim in the Red River. Those rapids, they can be pretty hard to navigate. They do have canoe and kayak rentals available, but you shouldn't swim in that. Also, don't swim in those retention ponds around the city either.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. According to a recent poll, the average parent thinks that 12 is the perfect age for this.
The answer, getting their own cell phone. I don't think they existed when I was 12, or at least no one had them anyway. But anyway, thanks for joining us here on the Valley today. But we roll on. You can join us for more up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW. Otherwise, the Today Show and CBS This Morning are just right after this. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.